Hey, how's it going? How is it going? I am so excited to talk to you guys tonight. Where do we start? As you know, tomorrow, our 20th episode, guys, it's going to be a banger. We are going to discuss cheating. It's going to be really fun. Please be there. Tonight, we're actually going to cover something else. We're actually going to cover a free PDF that we give out to you guys, and I want to go over it with you guys. Um, I want to share it with you. I want to break it down, all of it. So please like, share, subscribe, do all of that. You know where to find us. I'm actually going to show you where you can find us. So with that being said, we are going to start here. We're going to start at one place. So we are on Linktree. All of our social media is attached to that. We're going to start with, we have our Patreon, which will be coming out with content that you guys can pay for. We're not going to charge you guys much. It's going to be a monthly subscription. You guys are going to have access to coaching calls with us, Zoom calls, and privatized content. So be on the lookout for that. You can follow us on Instagram, guys. Like, we are trying to build that channel up. We're trying to grow it. You can follow us over there. And Twitter as well. Love Relationship Conversations. A lot of you guys are just watching and not liking and subscribing. We can't have you guys just lurking in the background playing 007. Like, you really want to support us? Please like, share, subscribe. You'll follow us on Facebook, YouTube, my personal Instagram, our Twitch, Anthea's Instagram. We have recent reference studies. So most of the time we do have to update this. But every topic or most of the topics we cover, we get references to back up what we're saying. Like, we're not just going to be a podcast to come to you to just talk poop. You know what I mean? We want to back everything up with social proof. Then we also have Anthea's book. She's a 3-time author, guys. 2 of her books are here if you want to check them out. And we also have our social media manager team as well that handles a lot of our stuff. So if you want to get business from them, just say Michael White sent you. You can click on it. You can go, connect with them as well. And our free PDF, guys. We have a free PDF that we are giving out to you. So sorry, guys. I have to go over that again because I did not add it. So I'm going to break it down one more time because this is just kind of off the fly. But guys, we're on Linktree. You want to check us out? You want to follow us? Don't be a 007 and come follow us on Linktree. So Linktree, all our social media is attached to this. You got our Patreon, which we're going to be coming out with, which is going to have paid content, coaching calls, and Zoom calls. We have our Instagram, guys. Please don't be a 007. Don't be secret and mysterious and not like, subscribe, and share, guys. It's the only way you're going to help us get up on the rankings, us get on the algorithm, help us grow the channel, and be able to give you guys great content, man. And you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow me personally on IG where we run relationship polls. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. Anthea's Instagram is there. Plus, we also have reference studies to back up what we are saying. We are not just going to be an average podcast where we're just going to talk from like whatever. We're going to back up everything we're saying. So if you want to be able to see that, the studies are there. Plus, on top of that as well, we have Anthea's digital books, which you can check out as well. She has 2 books written. You can go check those out. And then on top of that, we have our social media management team. If you guys want to, get work done by them, they're really good. You can reach out to them. And we also have our free PDF, which I will be going over with you guys real shortly. Um, so let's jump into that now. Okay, so let's jump into this. Okay, so I talked about being able to vet people. You hear us talk about it on the podcast a lot about vetting somebody. So today you're going to learn how to do that. You're going to learn how to identify a healthy man, a broken man, and a toxic man. You're also going to learn how to identify a healthy woman, broken woman, toxic woman. So we're going to be able to go over all that today. So again, our team put this together, IG Webby. As I said, you guys can go follow us on Love and Relationships on Linktree. But again, let's get started. Achieve inner peace by making it a good habit to pray and to find goodness in people and happiness. Um, how to strengthen your faith, trust in Him. Now, this is one of the key qualities of a good woman. A healthy woman recognizes that she controls the temperature around her. She has a healthy display of womanhood and understands God's value on them. Self evaluation comes from within, is balanced and productivity on all levels. Balance between her feminine and assertiveness, um, better over leveled harmony, so she's at peace. She possesses the ability to harmonize and is in a healthy mindset. When it comes to dating, we must be extremely cautious of who we bring into our space. But a lot of times we're not. We bring people into our spaces who are unhealthy, toxic, and broken. So here are some guidelines that I've put together to help men and women identify who they're dealing with and to figure out what works for them and what does not. We're going to break all of this down today. I'm doing this for you guys to break it all down. And if you guys want the PDF, message me on Facebook, Instagram. You guys can see it all there. So, things a healthy woman possesses has unrelenting standards when it comes to her character and dignity. So that means she has standards. She doesn't just go off of her feelings. She doesn't just go off of a whim. She has principles and standards that guide her instead of her emotions. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't be guided by your emotions, but she never lets her emotions steer her away from her standards. Has a powerful sense of individuality. She knows how to stand out based off of her character, never tries to fit into the pack, but always tries to stand out on her own by the way she moves. She's personally connected. She's personally health conscious. So in everything she does, she's health oriented, either in the gym, either with the food she eats, or even with the people she deals with. She's a servant to her community. Now, pretty much, I think that's a no-brainer. She helps build up the community around her, either with her friends or on a higher scale with charity work, but she's always trying to find ways to give back. She rejects negativity. Again, it goes back to what I said when it comes to principles. If someone's negative, she keeps it at a distance. She always keeps it at a distance. She's polite, wise, and never has to get out of character. So, like, she knows who she is. She does not let other people move her out of her frame. She knows how to be feminine and assertive, but never moved out of frame. She never lets other people dictate how she feels. She helps other people heal. A lot of people know her as somebody that they can go to with their problems, somebody that they feel very comfortable with, and they're always going to get some form of healing and peace there. She's self-esteem. I mean, she has a high level of confidence. She does not doubt her actions, and she knows how to move in accordance. She feels in her heart that she has nothing to prove to anybody. That's a very, very big one, guys. A lot of times, and again, it's not critiquing any women, but sometimes when it comes to dealing with men, they feel like they have to prove something instead of just being in a state of being. they're proving themselves to men, but it's like a lot of these men are neither A, not accepting it, or B, like they're getting strung along instead of just being like, this is me. You're either like it or you don't. Now, I'm not saying justifying bad behavior, but I'm saying if she's a healthy woman, she's got her stuff together, you know, everything is good, but she never feels like she has to prove something to him. Like, oh, I have to try to be this way so he likes me. I have to try to do all these things because you notice that's how a lot of women get hurt. Oh, I got to have bedroom fun with him for him to like me. Oh, I got to do all these wife like qualities to get him to like me. And even when she does the wife like qualities, it's still not enough. So that's what I mean by that. So again, she's willing to do those things, but she's not feeling like she has to do it to prove something. They make good choices when it comes to dating process. They are wise enough to understand who they're inviting into their life. Very, very wise. They don't just pick anybody. They want the best option. They want the best person. They don't just say, well, he looks good. No, because what happens if he doesn't help you build and he's not suited for your life? You can't pick him, but a lot of women still do that anyways, and then it ends up being a disaster. Her emotions serve her, not the other way around. She has emotional understanding. A lot of women just go off of their emotions. Oh, everything is emotions instead of letting her emotions serve her. She might like a guy. This is what a healthy woman will do. She might like a guy, but if she sees that he's very angry, if he doesn't have strong leadership, not very masculine, she's not going to bet on him and say, I'll give him a chance. She knows what's for her and she knows what isn't. She's able to move away in a very peaceful manner and say, look, you're not for me. She doesn't have to state the facts. You're not for me. I'm looking for XYZ. I'm sorry. She's balanced on productivity and all levels of intelligence, physically and mentally. She has a prayer life. She goes to the gym. She takes good care of herself. Um, Another one. She knows her worth and never does anything to compromise it. It's like what I told you guys before. You have a lot of women out here compromising themselves with men, especially, and either maybe even with friends or in the workplace. They're compromising themselves. What they're doing is they know what they're worth, but then at the same time, they'll question it because they feel like they have something to prove to this person. And it's like, no, like you need to be able to know what you're worth and never settle for anything less or even compromise on your worth. You should never be compromising on your worth in any shape, way, or form. A healthy woman is balanced between femininity and assertiveness. It's like what I said. She can boss up at work, but she never loses touch with her femininity at home. So again, when you're dealing in the workplace, especially for women, it's a lot harder. It is. It's a lot more difficult for them to be taken seriously, legitly. So a lot of times they have to put on very masculine traits to get ahead. That doesn't mean she's a man, but she has to take on certain traits. She has to be very assertive. She has to be very dominant, all those type of things. And that's fine. That is totally fine. But when she comes home to her man, her boyfriend, her husband, he needs you to be his girlfriend, not his someone that he's fighting with, not someone he's in competition with. So it's like she has to be able, when she comes home, she has to be able to put that away. Work is work. Boyfriend time is boyfriend time. Like she has to be able to separate the two. She knows that she's a reflection of her man. So she'll never do anything to compromise that. She'll never embarrass her boyfriend. She'll never do things that will embarrass him. So for example, she'll never cuss him out in public. She'll never be rude to him in public. Everything she does respects him. If a guy hollers like in her DMs, hey, I have a boyfriend, all of it. She never does anything to embarrass her boyfriend or her husband. She always thinks like, is this going to affect my husband? So now we're going to move on to the broken woman. This one's going to get very interesting. So, the broken woman, let's talk about it. The broken woman keeps returning back to the same predator, bad person. She's always riddled with guilt. She's always like, well, what did I do wrong? Is it me? You know, she's constantly berating down her confidence. She struggles with low self esteem or estimation, self worth. She feels like she's never good enough. Like she can never measure up to people's expectations. She lives to impress people. She doesn't have that sense of individuality. She's like, I have to impress, impress, impress. But what you don't realize is, as a woman, if you're constantly trying to impress somebody, you lose self identity. Now you don't know who you are. Your identity is based off of who other people tell you are. That's what happens when you're constantly trying to impress people. Now, again, I'm going to use some words here. She's constant need of approval, especially from a sexual context. So she always needs validation. She needs validation constantly. Now, it's something we talked about on the podcast. And again, we hold no punches here. If you guys tuned into it, do men really like sexy photos? No, they don't. If you watch the video that we did, you can go back on our YouTube and watch it. They had two girls on the Steve Harvey show that posted very risky photos on their Instagram. They were fully clothed, but, you know, booty shots, cleavage shots, a lot of skin. They showed these to 16 different men in the back room. Like in the back room of the Steve showed it to them. Literally all the guys said, I would have bedroom fun with her, wouldn't bring her home to mom. Yeah, she's hot, but she's trying too hard. Yeah, she clearly has no self-worth or self-confidence. One guy said that she has like no reservedness. You know, she's putting herself out there too hard. And it's not what guys are really looking for. So there's a constant need for validation. It's okay to get validated sometimes, but when you are desperately in need of it, now it's a problem. She uses her sexuality as a success strategy. So, like, you know, again, OnlyFans. I don't want to get too much into that, but like OnlyFans, right? Like she'll use that. She's leveraging her beauty to get what she wants from people. Again, I don't think there's much else needs to be said. Like she uses, instead of her character and using that as a launching pad for people to take her seriously, she leverages her sexuality instead, which is a terrible thing to do. Nobody should ever do that. She equates personal value with relationship status. So she says, well, I'm in a relationship, like I'm a valuable person. No, you're valuable in a relationship. You're valuable out of a relationship. Is your ending goal to get into one and get married and have kids? Yes. But your personal value, we're talking about like who you are as a human being individually, should never be tied to someone else choosing you. Now, I know multiple times on the podcast, we said a woman's highest reward is getting married. That's one of them. It's not the ultimate one, but it is one of a woman's highest form of happiness when she gets a ring and marriage from a man that she loves and respects. But even before those things, she was still able to equate her own personal value and never attach it to the relationship. So it's pretty much what she's saying is, when I'm not in a relationship, I'm nobody. But when I'm in a relationship, now I'm somebody. She waits for someone else to put value on her instead of her putting value on herself. The next one, she tolerates disrespect in any shape, way, or form. She tolerates it and gives excuses and says, oh, it's okay this time, or oh, it's next time. She never is really able to voice her opinion, and she just tolerates disrespect because, again, to her, it's normal to do that. She'll always give him a pass. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not okay. The last one. She struggles to know the difference between toxic men and good men. Again, it leads back into the other one. She gives men excuses for bad behavior, and she lets bad behavior go unpunished. and doesn't do anything about it. Now, this is one of my favorite quotes, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Stop seeking healing or closure in the hands of the people that broke her. She must surrender to God and seek wise counsel. You're seeking healing and closure from the people that broke you. Why? They're the ones that hurt you. And like a vase, they cracked the vase, they dropped it. And now you're looking for closure and healing in the person that dropped the vase the first time. No, you need to step away, step back, surrender to God, seek out personal development, seek out other coaches, and learn and get wise counsel on what to do. Now, we're also going to cover the toxic woman. This one's pretty much short lived. I use some Bible scriptures to back it up. So hopefully, with you guys, it's, some people might not like it, some will, but I'm a man of God. So again, I try to use those things. She hates men. She has an utter disdain for men. Everything is man's fault, a man's fault every single time. It's a man's fault. It's a man's fault. Boom. There's no sense of accountability. She poisons her community with negativity. She's always negative, gossiping. Nothing ever good comes from her. Nothing. She uses her influence to control people. She's very controlling, manipulative. Every single time she's domineering. She's always trying to dominate others. She's trying to show, hey, I'm better than you, just so you know. That's what it is. She maintains strife at all counts. She likes drama. She likes conflict. She cannot get enough of it. It's her world being in those things. So now that we've covered women, we are going to cover men now. Guys, you weren't getting away and escaping from this either. You are getting a dose of reality too, because these are things that I have to work on. So, character traits of a healthy man. He's well established in his masculine energy and rejects toxic ideas of manhood, thinking he is better than any woman or thinking he is the prize. No, nobody should run on the prize. You have to cater to me. No, you're both prizes. Remember that. A healthy man is coordinated in mission, but he loves his woman with purpose. So a healthy man is focused on his purpose. He has goals. He has dreams. Those are his priority. But he loves his woman with a purpose. He's not just, oh, I love you. But he's like, there's a purpose. There's marriage. There's a point to the relationship. It's not just, we'll see where it goes. When someone tells you that, they're just telling you that they're green about you. They're not too sure about you. How they feel about you, it's like they're not excited. You know what I mean? Like they're on the fence. What I like to say is they don't have high interest. A healthy man is whole enough to support everything that his woman is and wise enough to see her as an extension of himself. So he's able to support his woman, everything that she is. So like when she's good, when she's well put together, he's able to support her, help her, everything. He's able to be her rock. And he's wise enough to see his woman as an extension of himself. So when she's out, he knows his woman's representing him at the highest regard. When a real man speaks into your life, you will never be afraid when he's angry because he will never show it because his love for you is so great. So he might be frustrated with you, but he'll never raise his voice or yell at you or get like rude or crass. He'll always speak to you in a loving, considerate tone every single time because his love for you is so great. He would rather love you than scream at you. Even though he is unhappy with some choices you might have made, something you might have said, he'll bring it to your attention, but he will never do it in a way that threatens your security or makes you feel unsafe. He brings the best version of himself to the relationship. He's taken time to heal from many traumas and pains, and he knows who he is as a man. That's pretty straightforward. When you're dating somebody, you want to bring the best version of yourself. You don't want them to get a less than half version of you. Now it's not a relationship at that point. You know what I mean? Now it's just like two people coming together for what? A healthy man will never make you a second-class citizen. They'll always pull you up. He'll never treat you as less than. He'll always pull you up. When you fall, he'll be your rock. When you're sinking, he's the life jacket. A healthy man will not pick apart your life. He will always look at what he has going on and what you have going on and try to figure it out with you. So he'll always try to communicate and try to make it work. He'll never try to be like, oh, like screw you or this is what I want, blah, 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 blah. Like he'll always try to make it work with you and communicate with you in a healthy manner. A healthy man will put it on the table that we serve each other. And I want you to remember that. It's not you serve me and everything else goes out the window. I will help you with what you have going on, and he will expect you to help him with what he has going on. We will want to build a kingdom with you. And that's the thing. When it's with a woman that he respects and adores, he wants to build a kingdom with her. That's what he wants to do. Guys are builders. We know this. Men are builders. And with the right woman, he wants to build. A healthy man gives you what you need when you need it, and he listens to you diligently. That's super important. He doesn't make you, when you need something, he's there. He supports, he understands, he listens diligently. He asks questions. He makes sure to understand you with the highest regard. He supports your choices and make choices you make and helps you attain your goals and dreams. He will support the woman that supports him. So he'll support the choices you make because he knows that his woman makes wise decisions. He's an extension of him. So he knows that any choice that he makes is a wise decision. He knows that his girl or his woman will make the same healthy, wise choices. And he will always support her. He is unguarded. He has nothing to hide when he sees you are a woman of value. He wants you close to him and does not make it difficult. Ladies, men, we all know this. If someone's really into you, they don't make it difficult for you to get close to them. They make it real easy because they see the value that you are in, like the value that you have. It's the same thing with a man. When he sees that you're a woman of value, he wants you close because he knows other men will try to snatch you up too. He wants you closer to him than far away. He has stable disposition. He does not bring you drama. He does not give you reason to not trust him. That might seem boring to you, but it's only because you're used to a chaotic man. So it says a lot more about your character and that you might need some healing. So pretty much what this statement means is he does not bring drama to you nor give you reasons to not trust him. He might seem very boring. You're like, well, like this guy is so trusting. He loves me. He's safe. He's a safe bet. But you also have to ask yourself, if that's getting boring to you, it's only because you're used to chaotic men. You're used to drama. You're used to uncertainty, all those things. So there might be some healing that you might need to do in your character, because again, that chaoticness cannot build. You can't build a relationship off that. He answers your question and he's upfront. He's honest. He does not keep you in the dark. He cannot ask you to follow him if he can't even answer basic questions. He always has answers for your questions. Queens ask questions only kings can answer. So what I mean by that is if your woman asks you questions, you're always going to have an answer. No matter what it is. You're a problem solver. See, queens ask questions only kings can answer. Oh, babe, like, we have this going on in the house. Don't worry, I'll fix it myself. Or I'm going to call an electrician. Or I'm going to handle this. Or I'm going to take. That's what she's looking for, a problem solver. She's not going to ask you questions. You're like, oh my God, I don't know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, no, like you're falling apart here. You're supposed to be her rock. And now the rock is crumbling. So now she's like, if he's my rock and he's crumbling, shoot, what are we going to do here? He takes interest. He takes interest in your interest and he cares about what's going on in your life. And he wants to partake in your interests. See, he gives a crap about what's going on in your life and he wants to partake in it. That one's pretty straightforward. He has a track record of healthy relationships and never drags you down from his past. He has good long-term friendships, a good relationship with his parents and those around him. Even if those friendships have ended, he will talk about the good things in that person. That one's pretty straightforward. He has healthy relationships that follow him, his track record. Character traits of a broken man. Now, look, I hate to say this. If somebody has these broken traits or they're toxic, so broken or toxic, you need to do this. I hate to say it, man. Stop betting on people and saying, "I'll give them a chance." No, if they're displaying these characteristics continuously, because nobody's perfect, but what I'm saying is continuously, now you need to go. If you see like you guys have been spending like 2 weeks together and it's like that, nah, you need to be somewhere else. Now, character traits of a broken man. A broken man is someone who's out of sync with his creator, himself, and his woman. He's always apologizing and sabotaging the best life has for him, even his relationships. Broken people will break. Hang on a second. Broken people will break you. What that man needs to do is not possess, so not be possessive. The disharmony challenges the man's self confidence, his relationship with his woman, and his ambitions. A man has gone through some challenges and has not resolved them yet. And his, sorry guys, there's a lot of grammar mistakes. The guys haven't corrected it properly, but I still want to give it to you. And his, though, are all over the place. So even though he's all over the place, he has not figured out who he is as a man or what proper masculinity is. Therefore, his fluency in his life is not is there's always dysfunction. So there's never peace. There's always chaos. So it's really hard to stay with that man, like follow him fully. He never expresses himself in healthy manners. It's always chaotic and never peaceful. He's like a faucet, hot, cold, never grounded in identity. So he doesn't know who he is. He's all over the place. Guys, look, we're not here to bash anybody. We've all displayed it. Healthy characteristics, toxic characteristics, broken characteristics. The goal is to level up, to get to fully healthy. So this PDF is just here to help you address some of these things because maybe you have some of these characteristics that you need to fix to get the relationships that you want. He has bad experiences with women where he has taken no accountability for his behaviors or has not taken the proper time to address them. Pretty much he just has no accountability and it's just whatever. In his brokenness, he cannot love his woman. If you're a broken man, you cannot love your woman. You're not loving her 100% in fullness. So the relationship suffers because both parties are not getting what they need. He's broken and still trying to fix himself while trying to love his woman. Can't balance both. He keeps up a false image of himself to seek validation, does not ask for help. He continuously hides his pain and shortcomings in his false image. Guys, I've done that before. I've tried to keep people at a distance so they wouldn't see certain parts of me, tried to put up a fake facade, try to get validation from others, which is something you should never do. And I didn't know how to ask for help, and I would always hide my pain. And, that's why you have to have a good group of strong women or strong men around you where you can address those characteristics. Broken men always beat their chest saying how amazing they are. Alpha men, when all they're doing is hiding behind a false identity of undressed pain and trauma. Pretty much, guys, you don't have to say how amazing you are. How you move and your character should automatically, like, people should see that by how you move, how you go about things. People should see that. A broken man brags about his sex life and conquest because he feels he has something to prove to himself in the world. So pretty much he's trying to say, like, I banged all these chicks. Look at me go. No, there's no strong identity in that. Like, what do you really achieve by banging a lot of women? Nothing. Yes, you get a lot of satisfaction. Yes, a lot of women find you desirable, but bragging about it, there's no pride in that. He has extrovert antics. He feels that he needs to be seen and heard. He's an attention seeker. Pretty much the attention always has to be on him. He highly gets offended for nothing and is always suspicious. He doesn't trust people. He has trust issues. He's very passive aggressive. He'll never tell you the truth. It's never direct and honest. He'll always tell selective truth or half truths. So He can't be honest with himself, so how can he be honest with you? Characteristics of a toxic man is a man who has internalized his pain, never addressed his pain. It has mutated in him hating women, putting them down, and causing pain wherever he goes. He's filled with anger he's never addressed, and he's angry with the world. His willingness to cover his woman, he will always throw his woman under the bus and not fully fulfill his commitment to protecting her. So he doesn't keep her safe. And I hate to say this, I'm talking about like domestic abuse, mental abuse, anything. He's not doing his job as a man and protecting her. He's putting her under the bus, not making her feel safe. The next one, he blames her for all his pain and shifts blame and takes no accountability for his behavior. Everything is always her fault, never his. He loves himself and lacks the ability to serve you. Servitude is very important in a relationship, and we'll probably cover that. He's selfish in all his ways. A toxic person is always a mystery. So they're a little shady. They're a little suspect. He's never consistent in his actions. He's all over the place. Guys, I've been that. I'm here, I'm there, I'm all over the place. You need to understand this on both sides. A woman will never follow a man that's inconsistent. And let me say this again. Men, you cannot ask a woman to follow you if you're inconsistent. You need to inspire her with your consistency. And I've been a victim of this too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm perfect. I've been inconsistent because, again, women will look at that. Women, stop entertaining inconsistent men. If he's not inconsistent with his actions, he's all over the place. He's not the man for you. He cannot lead you. He cannot take you to places that you both need to go and take you to places where you will both multiply. He never talks about relationships for him. He never talked about them like together. So his idea of a relationship is just you will give me, I will give you, instead of just being. So he looks at all relationships as transactional. He never looks at them as we're servitude. It's I will only do for you if you do for me. If you don't do for me, I won't do for you. He possesses angry energy. He's always angry, always upset, has no peace. He has no empathy. He will never feel sorry for you for the pain he's caused. Accountability, no matter how much he's hurt you. Listen to this. You will never know what type of man you're dealing with if you are making the choices from the surface. If you have not grown beyond looks and showing off, you should always look before you leap. Looks get you in the door, but you always have to ask, is there any sustenance to this person? And that's a man or woman. So again, with that all being said, guys, if you want this PDF, you just message me, email me, and I'll send it to you. But looking at that, it's a good vetting process. Those are good tools that you can use to vet if a person's a good fit for you. Looking at those characteristics. So I've been some of the healthy man. I've been some of the broken man. I've been some of the toxic man. I've met some women that were the healthy women, the broken woman, the toxic woman. And that's the thing. That's why you constantly have to be working on yourself. You constantly have to be leveling up. You constantly have to be making yourself better so you can display less and less of those qualities and more healthy, positive qualities. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. sharp. Be there. We're going to talk about cheating. And I can't wait to see you guys there for our 20th episode. So I will see you guys there tomorrow.